Hi guys, welcome back to SJ Sports. As our podcast is back every Monday, all about Arsenal. Seni, how you doing, bro? You right?
I'm very well, man. I'm very well, thank you, man. How are you?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Basically, as you know, we're gonna be talking about Arsenal, innit? So we Arsenal. I've got the title there, which I said is Arteta the right person to take Arsenal moving forward. So I'll start with that question with you.
First
Is it
of
the
all,
right guy?
at the moment, if you were to, what we have to think about is if you were to sack Arteta, who would replace him? Because all the top managers are at top clubs and all doing well, so no one's gonna leave their top club to now come to Arsenal to take over, and it would surely divide the fan base. So yes, I think he needs to be given time. He's built his team. He just needs to add four players, in my opinion, to just have that complete team in terms of the squad depth. Because at the moment we've got a couple of injuries and we're lacking in quality in certain areas. And when our key players are missing, the drop off with the fringe players is too massive. So I think with four new signings in the right places, I think Arsenal will be um, on par with Man City, front foot competing with all four fronts. So we just need to invest rightly because we've seen the whole Kai Havertz signing. It's not quite working out. I still want to believe that it's going to work out at some point. But, as the games go on, we just see the same thing week in, week out. And we've seen the same with Fabio Vieira as well. So we just need to make sure who we're signing is ready to go right now. So we can't afford to be signing players that are going to be good in 2 years or 3 seasons or whatever. Because when we lose our key players, our spine of the team, the drop off is too massive. So these players coming in are not performing to the optimum level needed to actually win us games or create chances for us to have a go at matches when we're playing top teams or teams who can actually play ball. So yes, I think Arteta's the man for us. We just need to give him the right tools at the end of the day. And if he's making signings, he needs to make the correct signings, and not end up, you know, having a Kai Havertz and Fabio Vieira scenario all over again.
Yeah, you're right. You mentioned about signing Kai Havertz. I think, something that I'm really worried about Arteta because the signings that he made for the past, say for the past year and a half, signings like Joe Junior, Kai Havertz, who else I can name again out there, you know,
Fabio
um,
Vieira.
Fabio. Okay, Fabio Vieira. Maybe he needs time and all this. He's still young anyway. I'll give him time, but I can see something on. I can see like a player on Fabio Vieira. When I look at Fabio Vieira, I can see like it's a creative midfielder and all this. It probably need to be like more physical, and then that's I think he needs to add on that's into his game like more physical. Premier
Yeah.
League is very physical, especially if you want to play that box that number 8 or number 10. You need to be physical because they're gonna try and bully you and all this. So the signings that worries me. So that's why the thumbnail says is at the right person. I know we're gonna talk about Saturday's game. We're gonna talk about the VAR. We're gonna talk about the incident that happened, Kai Havard, Bruno Guimaraes, and all this. But for me, I need to focus on the manager right now. And then the other thing is the style of play. The style of play is there, but our wingers they're not getting much of the ball, and they're nullifying them, and all this. What do you make of it? Like our
First
wingers
of
are not
all,
getting the ball as much as they could. And if they get
first
the
of all,
ball, they're not going inside the box like they used to take on like man, two, three people. Something do that last season, taking out two, three players off. But he's not doing that this season.
I'll start with the signings as you mentioned with Fabio Vieira. The whole thing about he needs to get more physical and whatnot, it's not so much a problem because we've seen Bernardo Silva at Man City. He's not much bigger than him, if he is bigger at all. And we see him run games in the Champions League, in the Premier League, in the FA Cup. We've seen him do it in the international stage as well. So I don't think that should be an excuse. He's been here for a year now, and he should be adapting already. So when he comes on and he gets his opportunity, he should by all means, grab it by the scruff of the neck and play and perform. Give Arteta that headache. With Kai Havertz, fair enough, he's been here just the starting of this season. But again, like you said, is Arteta the right man in the signings he's making? We've seen what he was doing at Chelsea. He wasn't pulling trees at Chelsea. So for someone who's not on form, for someone who's low on confidence, I wouldn't be bringing him on to a team like Arsenal with the form and football we were playing last season. And in addition to losing Granit Xhaka, I wouldn't have done that. I don't know why we didn't go for Maddison. I would have gone for Maddison. If you wanted two creative eights, I would have had Maddison and Martin Odegaard in that midfield. To be quite honest, I'm surprised on the Tottenham went for him. I'm surprised Man United didn't go for him either. I'm surprised Chelsea didn't go for him either, and I'm even surprised Man City.
The money that we bought Kai Havertz, we can get the money that we bought Kai Havertz, we can get Madison
and
money remaining.
I'm surprised Man City didn't get him either because Man City lost Gundogan and he would have been a perfect replacement for him. So I'm quite surprised that the top 6 team didn't actually go for him at all. Maybe it's something to do with his injury record or whatnot. But yeah, that's that.
Even this guy, what's it called? Lucas Paqueta. I like him at West Ham, but for me, sometimes football is a bit slow. Like when he hold the ball, turns and but I like his football. I think it could have been a better signing than Kai Havertz.
And in regards to the wingers, the reason why they can't do what they were doing last season is because obviously they know those two are Arsenal's danger men. So as soon as they're played in or the midfielders have the ball, you can already see the opposition team have like 2 players already wanting to confront our wingers, or even, as soon as they get the ball, they have 2 free man on the wingers every single time. So now we need the midfielders to take that space they're leaving to then engage or confront Martinelli and Saka, because you're having your fullback, your winger, and your DM coming across to make it impossible for them to create anything. So that DM is leaving space, a gap between the centre back and the midfield. So this is where Martin Odegaard or Kai Havertz or Fabio Vieira, whoever's playing in that 8 role, should be smart enough to take up those pockets of space going behind them and make it difficult for you to be marked. And so that's what I've noticed.
That's why I'm worried. Like if Odegaard is not fit, I'm really worried saying it, because what's gonna happen is if Odegaard is not fit, then we're gonna have Kai Havertz, Declan Rice, and Jorginho. That midfield is not good enough, boy. That midfield is not good.
To be fair,
the only player is gonna stand out that midfield is Rice. And you know what? Saying about Declan Rice, for me, I think he's been our best midfield so far this season. He's been our best midfielder. He's playing well consistently. Every game, Rice is playing well. For me, that game, I know we're gonna touch on the game anyway. That game against Newcastle is 2 players that stand out. Declan Rice and William Saliba. William Saliba was very good. Any ball that they put in the box, it just headed it through outside and all this. So, we're going to move into the game. What did you make of the game?
I didn't see the whole game. I saw highlights because I was obviously busy on Saturday night. But from what I've seen, also you mentioned Saliba and Declan Rice. I thought Zinni played very well when he came on, even though I've been saying he should be dropped. He's not earned a place to start in the starting 11. But when he came on, we seemed to start creating a bit more chances and gave a goal at the game. So he's also another one to shout out. Kai Havertz in the defensive sort of like role, he did really well, but going forward, he didn't give us anything. And I think we didn't play too badly, but we didn't play amazingly enough. I thought that game warranted a point for each team, because obviously, as we saw, VAR made horrendous decisions for that goal that went in.
We're gonna talk about VAR anyway. We're gonna talk about VAR. Yeah, you're right. Well, that's why I don't know if you watched our podcast yesterday. I was talking to Modu. I'm sure he's watching me.
Yeah.
He basically said like Newcastle deserve to win the game towards the end. And I'm like, what game were you watching? How did Newcastle deserve to win that game? The game was even. It was an even game. A draw was a fair result for both teams, because he's basically saying, "Oh, we played perfect game." That what Newcastle are looking for. I'm like, no, Newcastle played we played the perfect what Newcastle were looking for. You understand? They want to come physical and bully Arsenal. This is not the Arsenal of Arsene Wenger that you can bully out and just do whatever you want to do and win them. No, they came physical and we came physical. And towards the end, yes, we were not playing our style of football because they didn't allow us to play our style of football. But what happened is we stood up, we fight with them towards the end. We didn't play our football, but the game was 50-50. Both teams were, tackling each other. I think the referee was poor. The referee was rubbish on the day. Yeah, but how to call it? But coming on the decisions, I know you haven't watched the game, but what do you make of Kai Havertz tackle before we go to Bruno Guimaraes?
I think Kai Havertz's challenge was definitely a yellow card. It's not a red because when you see the challenge, it's like when goalkeepers are clearing the ball and the strikers running in to make a block. You dive in, your leading foot is in front of the player, trying to get in front of the ball to make the block. Unfortunately, his follow through with his trailing leg took out Dan Burn, which was never gonna endanger him because that trailing leg was not gonna, give him any sort of like a worrying injury. So you can see that, and obviously the intent wasn't there either. It's just a reckless challenge because the referee had a look at the VAR footage and he deemed it not serious foul play because his leading leg was ahead of the player, which he would have never made contact with the player with. It was his trailing leg that made the contact and took him out. In terms of Guimaraes, he elbowed Jorginho off the ball. So he wasn't on the ball. Jorginho was on the ball, and he's managed to get his hand up there and elbowed him in the face. That's a straight red because it just shows that you're intending to hurt the player. Fair enough. If you're on the ball and you put your arm up to protect the ball and shield the player, fair enough. You accidentally hit the player in the face. Fair enough. I can understand that. But you're off the ball. You're running towards the player to make a challenge, and your arm and your elbows leading towards someone's face. He should be sent off for that. So, the referee balked in terms of making that decision because obviously the crowd were, influencing what he was calling on the pitch, which is sad to see for a Premier League referee. You should have a bit more conviction and courage and precedent and control of a game. If you're getting phased out by opposition fans or whatever, then you shouldn't be a Premier League footballer. You should go and ref a Sunday League game instead.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Kai Havertz one is fair. Is yellow card. I don't think it's a red card. When I saw it first, when he did the tackle, I was like, you know what, it's a red card, man. After I watched it 1-2 eyes, I'm like, nah, definitely yellow because he didn't catch the guy anyway. But Bruno Guimaraes, that one, I still couldn't believe how he's still on the pitch. That Bruno Guimaraes guy. But it looks like he was just since after Kai Havertz did that tackle here, it looks like he lost his head. Like he's trying to do anything possible just to knock a player or something, So for me, he's lucky to be on the pitch. And even I was watching Alan Shearer's interview earlier on his podcast, saying that definitely Bruno Guimaraes was lucky to be on the pitch, But I'm gonna say something before I come into the incident about the VAR. I'm gonna play one video here. Let's have a look at this video where the goal came from, and then we'll talk about this. And then before we, how to call it? Yeah, before we.
Kept in is it by Willock. Brilliant from Willock in the corner on the far side. Looks for the cross.
From me, say it. 1 minute. Let me take it back. I want to show you something. So you see here. Can you see Senny?
Yeah.
You see here, the ball is gone out, and the Willock just put the ball in back here. Yeah? So here, where was Ben White? Why they all standing there? Look at Jorginho. I wouldn't say Rice because Rice was a bit far away. But look at Jorginho, yeah? And I'm going to play, whilst I'm playing this clip here, just look out where Ben White is as a fullback.
By Willock, brilliant from Willock in the...
Okay, I've stopped it here. Look where White is. Instead of White going down all the way there, closing that. Yes, the ball is gone out, we all agree. Yeah, the ball is gone out, we all agree, yeah? But why would you switch off? Close down. If you close down this ball, you never know, the ball might not even get into the 6 yard. You get it?
Yeah.
So for them to stand there and lift their hands and say, "Oh, the ball is gone out. The ball is gone out," you play to the whistle, as they always say, play to the whistle. So I'll play the clip again, and then just have a look. And still, Ben, I don't think Benoit has
Corner
closed
on the
down.
far
Hey,
side.
look, look at the distance between Joe Willock and Ben White. That's a massive gap. You cannot give good teams where gaps like this for them to shoot or cross or put the ball in. So I think no matter how we blame VAR and all this here, we have to look at our defending. Our defending was good towards the end. We just switch off. Our defending was good, to be honest. I'm not gonna question too much, but this is what happened. Professional football or top level football, when you switch up
Yeah.
seconds,
I'll tell you
seconds.
something about that footage. When that ball went
But
out, as number one rule in football, you play to the whistle. Just like boxing, protect yourself at all times. Do not put your hands down and leave yourself unprotected if the referee hasn't stopped the game. It applies the same as football. Play to the whistle, because if you stop playing, you're basically dropping your hands down and leaving yourself unprotected for a massive blow. And this is what happened here. You can see Jorginho is shouting at Ben White, telling him to close him down, get to the player and shut down that cross from coming into the box. You can see him doing that. Another thing is you didn't see is you can see Raya took 2 steps forward before that cross came in, which he made against Chelsea when Mudryk lobbed him from a mistakenly overhit cross. He stepped 2 yards forward, and then the cross is made. He's under the cross. Went out to try and punch the cross or catch the ball. He's missed it, and Gabriel Magalhaes has been pushed.
yeah, okay. I'm gonna play this. I'm gonna play where you mentioned about what's it called? Raya. I'll play the clip again. I will go to Raya because now the ball is in. Okay. So basically here. Yeah. Look at
No,
Raya's position.
before that, he's made 2 steps forward.
Okay,
So you can see there in that position there, he's in the near post. Yeah. In that situation there,
Looks for the
and he
cross.
stayed where 2 yards back, he would have caught a ball or punched it. But he made 2 steps forward. You're not going to see in that angle, but from the highlight that I saw, he's made 2 steps forward. And this is why when he came out, he completely missed it. He's always trying to...
I'll put it back here. You mean here?
Before the cross was put in. No, before the cross, you're not going to see it.
I don't think we can get the footage here.
You can't see it. No, because...
Not this one?
You can't see it because it's before the cross came in. So before Willock kicks the ball, you can see him moving 2 steps forward. So you won't see it in this clip because it's before the ball was kicked by Joe Willock.
So basically, you feel like, you know what? When I watched the game earlier, I was not, I didn't even notice that Raya was on fault of this goal. But after I watched it back today, and I had people talking about it this morning, I'm like, okay, I'll go back and watch it. So when I went back and watched it, I'm like, yeah, you're right. But still, I get it, Raya made a mistake. He should have maybe stayed on his box and all this. But the problem was not on Raya. The problem was on here.
It's not even just that. That's what I'm saying as well.
Yeah.
There's a problem.
Yeah, no. No, what I'm saying is here.
Right.
Send it here. Look, send it 1 minute. Look at these 3. Look at these 3 players. Yeah, they're all standing there. Look, Jorginho is pointing White. Go. Okay, if White doesn't go, why can't you go? Go, and Rice will cover you here, and then maybe Martinelli will drop down, or Kayaba will drop down. But all 3 of them, they're just standing there pointing at each other. And then look at how free Joe Willock is in the box.
This picture here, this angle here gives you an illusion. If you saw the real footage that took place, there's 3 other players running in towards the box. Had Jorginho deserted his position to close down Joe Willock, it would have given Joe Willock a little short cutback onto that midfielder coming on, and he would have had a clear shot on goal. So this is solely on Ben White. He should have came out very quickly to confront Joe Willock. And 100%. There's that one mistake. And like I said, the second mistake is with David Raya as well. Had he stayed 2 yards like he started off with, wait until the cross is coming in, then make a judgment call. But if you make a judgment call before the cross is put in, you're gonna misjudge the flight of the ball because it could be hit long.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Raya
so
has something.
there's 2 mistakes in that area. one with Ben White not closing down, two with Raya coming out before the cross was made, because you
100%.
then can't judge the flight of the ball.
100%. Okay, I'll play the clip again. We'll probably go the full video now.
In the corner on the far side, looks for the cross. It's on the line. It's
So for me here, wait, I'll put it back. Where Gabriel has been found.
Yeah, I think we should just move on with this, and because we've already seen the two mistakes there, we should just move on.
Okay.
It's on the line.
Yeah, and then the VAR. So what I'll do is, I'll probably move this now. Yeah. So so my point is, like, what do you make of the VAR decision?
Like Mikel said, it's shocking.
The ball was out, number one.
Standard.
The ball was out, number one.
Premier League standard of refereeing is very disappointing, because it's meant to be one of the best league in the world. So, to say they didn't have a correct angle of the ball being fully out is crazy, because how can fans or a TV viewing the same game got an angle where it shows the ball is conclusively over the line, 100%. And another part of that mistake is two hands on a defender whilst you're jumping forward. He's gone to leap and he's dropped straight on his face. It just shows you everything that you need to know. And it's their own rule saying two hands on the back of a player, it's a push, it's a foul. So that's been established as well. They've looked at it and just overlooked it, as well as the ball being out. So for me, the offside was the only thing that was inconclusive, because the angle that was shown, you can't tell when Joe Linton made contact with the ball if Gordon was in an offside position or not when he made the pass to him, or when he inadvertently made the pass to him. So that's the only thing for me that is inconclusive. But the ball being out is conclusive. That is 100% over the line. Gabriel being pushed is conclusive, because he's gone to jump and gone straight down with Joe Linton's both hands on his back. The only result of that would have been a push. So, yeah.
I mean, I had this debate about VAR for like since at the beginning of the season. I've been calling out VAR. I remember against Tottenham. No, sorry. Yeah, the Tottenham game, the Liverpool versus Everton game, the Arsenal versus City, the Man U versus Wolf, when Onana just delivered, took the striker out, whatever, the defender or the striker out. That should have been a pen. And they came out and said, yeah, they got that wrong. You know, and then on Saturday's one as well, I think the Liverpool and the Saturday's one against Arsenal and Newcastle was the worst I've seen VAR decision this season. For them to say, okay, we don't have an angle. The angle that we have, the angle that they're showing people here, that angle, the ball is out. But they're still saying they're not sure if the ball is out. Now, pushing on Gabriel, they're saying, oh, Gabriel make most of it. But come on, as a defender, if you feel like somebody's pushing, what happened to Rodri last week when they played against City? Rodri feel contact. It's a contact sport, yes. But he feels like, you know, the Hoyland's been touching him. And he fell down and they give a penalty. So that's what happened. Players are smart and they know when to go down. And you cannot criticize them too much. You know, but for them to come out and say, oh, there's no push. And even people forget, you know, Joe Linton, he even hand the ball. The ball fell on his hands. So it's a handball. With all that, VAR didn't even have a check on all that. So I feel like Arsenal have been robbed, but these decisions like this, they're always gonna come. And this is not the last, you know, this is not the last decision they're gonna give. There's gonna be more decisions like this coming in the future. I'm telling you this. I don't think this VAR people will change. I know we've been watching Chelsea versus Tottenham earlier. I think that one they got that one right. The two red cards are 100% red cards. Today is the only game I watch, and I'm like, yeah, today they got that. And the offside they rule out Tottenham, that's an offside. So, and the two offsides they rule out with Tottenham, those two offsides are offside. Today, I've watched the game and I enjoy it. And VAR works when people know how to use it. But VAR, if people don't know how to use it, it's not gonna work. And with VAR thingy here, I've got a clip that I need to play quickly. That clip, I'm sure you know the guy anyway. So I'll play this clip and you tell me your thoughts about this clip, because I'm sure you'll be looking forward to listening to this one.
like that. And Newcastle have found a way to evade all 30 cameras on all three incidents. There was no conclusive evidence that the ball went out. There was obviously maybe conclusive evidence around the Joel Linton one, but even that, it was a bit of a struggle to see it in real time from the angles that we had. And then the offside, we got that through, didn't we, from Stockley Park, that there was no conclusive evidence that when the ball left Joel Linton's body, and did he play it towards, obviously, Anthony Gordon? They could have proved maybe that Anthony Gordon was in an offside position, but they couldn't prove the essential thing, which is the timing of the last touch on the player. So if they can't prove those things, then you end up with a situation where there's no conclusive evidence. And my gut feeling was that they were hanging around on the possible foul quite a lot. And there's an angle where it looks like a foul because Joel Linton's got both his arms out. But that, honestly, that's not a foul for me. You know, Gabriel's throwing himself forward. I've done it sometimes. When the ball's just a bit lower than your body, you go forward to try and flick it.
But I just stopped it. You know why I stopped it? Because he said something important. He said the ball was just coming and Gabriel threw himself forward. Yeah? So that tells you if he doesn't throw Gabriel or if he doesn't put his hands on Gabriel, Gabriel will head the ball. Gabriel will head the ball. But because he put his hands on Gabriel, Gabriel missed the ball. And when he missed the ball was deflected. And then whatever the case is there, the striker tap. But what Gary Neville is saying here doesn't make sense. And he said there's static cameras in the stadium. How did Newcastle manage to get that goal? So he already, controversed himself already. But we'll listen to what he said.
And that's what Gabriel's tried to do. I've tried to demonstrate that for you there. I hope you got it. I know what Gabriel's tried to do. And in the end, because he's thrown his arms back, Joel Linton's arms naturally come out like that. So for me, that isn't a foul. Just instinct of a defender, and sort of I'm happy to stand up for defenders when I think they've been fouled as well. So for me, that wasn't a foul. And the offside, it was just mayhem. And Stockley Park was stuck on it for quite a while. And in the end, yeah, there's no conclusive evidence. And I agree with them. There's nothing that told me strongly enough that that wasn't a goal. I mean, I'm sure there'll be Arsenal fans watching saying the ball went out, it was a foul, and it was offside. But honestly, I'm looking at it neutrally. I've got no sort of ambition to be an Arsenal fan or a Newcastle fan. But one thing we must never do a Saturday night football again without a referee alongside us to be able to throw to. Everything. I think it was Spurs. I did Spurs and Liverpool on a Saturday night a few weeks ago, and that was madness. From a VAR perspective, this one tonight's been madness, and sometimes you're just thinking, where's Mike Dean gone? He's gone missing.
For me, saying it before you go, I think Gary Neville is talking absolutely rubbish, man. For him to come out and say, okay, yeah, Gabriel just throw himself, he feels the contact and throw himself, and he's saying, yeah, there's 30 cameras in the stadium. So if there's 30 cameras in the stadium, he even said it himself. How did Newcastle manage to get this on the line? That's a big question. And I think, like I said, Arsenal have been robbed. And until these officials need to change their way, if not, there's going to be more bad decisions coming. So, yeah, that's you got anything to say?
Yeah, we all know Gary Neville is a gimp. He's an embarrassment to punditry, because this is the same guy who said Marcus Rashford did not dive when the defender didn't make any contact with him in the box, and he went over and they gave a penalty to Man United. This is the same guy, after a VAR slow motion replay was provided and you can see the defender didn't make any contact with Marcus Rashford, he came out and said he still thought that was a penalty. So he's obviously an embarrassment to punditry.
Yeah, that's why when I was talking to Modu was like,
he shouldn't be employed to be making these kind of nonsense comments, because
when I was talking to Modu, you know what Modu said to me? Modu, sorry, I'm cutting you. Modu said to me,
people to basically cheat and go ahead and do things like that, because we've seen that. So how can you now say someone's jumped and the player's fully got his hands, and you can see how his hands are extending whilst he's pushing the player? Because if he had his hands on the player and didn't push him, his hands would be bent and stay bent. But you can see as he was jumping, his hands were extending, meaning he's putting motion into the back of Gabriel. And you can see the way he fell. There's no way you're stooping down to get power into your legs to jump up and then you end up on the floor. There's no way that can happen. So he's a gimp, man. I don't rate.
When I talked to Palmer said to me, even if you listen to Gary Neville, that's what even Gary Neville said. I'm like, so basically you're telling me you're listening to Gary Neville's opinion. That's why you're basing your opinion on Gary Neville. I said, come on, you want to make me believe that Gary Neville is right? That's his opinion. I will never believe what Gary Neville says about Arsenal anyway. So that's all I can say. But this Gary Neville guy, I saw somebody in Twitter today. Somebody tweeted saying Gary Neville and Jimmy Carragher should never be at the going like should never be on TV like on Sky. When Arsenal play at home, or especially Sunday or big game, Super Sunday, and all this.
To be fair,
That's why and then he
tolerate
tweeted.
Gary Neville
He,
more than
he retweeted. He retweeted.
Sorry.
Yeah, he retweeted the tweet saying, "Oh, is it because of sports are top?" And I'm like, I saw the tweet, I was laughing, man. So I was like,
I would
you know,
tolerate Carragher more than Gary Neville because at least, with all the wild things he comes out with, he does, speak some sense sometimes. It's the same as when he challenged
Yeah.
him in terms of what's going on with Man United and he was ranting over all the craziness that didn't apply to the game that he was talking about when players did not actually commit to putting 110% on the pitch and he's blaming the owners and whatnot. But yeah, we move on from that. Gary Neville is not someone you should be.
Yeah,
listening
I've got one audio that I'm sure that you have seen this one on the group chat. I'm gonna play it here. More to just put it in the group chat, so I'll play it. It's gonna.
when we don't win any is baffling, right? They gas up a community shield, which is a glorified soccer aid. Yeah, we got in it by default this summer, right? And then, oh, it don't matter, it's the Mickey Mouse Cup. Well, why were you so hyped to watch the game then? Because if it's only the Mickey Mouse Cup and you don't care about it, why are you all watching it? Yeah, why are you all fighting for tickets to get into the ground? Yeah, and then leaving. Hands were geezer in the crowd yesterday when we were 3-0 down and he was standing there laughing with his pals.
Yeah, I was laughing, yeah.
Yeah, laughing with his pals. That's the kind of person that will go on his Twitter account and tell me and you and other Arsenal fans that wanted to qualify last night that, oh, it don't matter, it's the crap cup, you're always negative. Well, this lot are all having a street party because we got knocked out. Only 2 teams in that competition at full strength can win that competition at full strength. Us and Liverpool. Yeah, we're the best 2 teams in it in terms of full strength teams. Well, Liverpool qualified. They're still in 4 competitions. Yep. Yeah, they ain't crying about the workload, the load on the players.
You know what? I like Lee, but I like Lee and I respect his opinion sometimes, but things that he said, it makes me laugh, man. But yeah, what do you make of his comment?
He mentioned loser mentality, but
Yeah.
we've seen his team go out and absolutely just let Man City wipe the floor with them at their home ground. How can you call another team a loser, having a loser mentality after that kind of shocking performance? We played Man City in the Community Shield and we beat them. Fair enough, we drew at 90 minutes, but at the end of the game, we were the winners. And the reason why fans were fighting to get tickets to watch that game is because it's an entertaining game, Man City versus Arsenal. We're the 2 best teams in England. So obviously people are going to want to watch that. And that's the same reason why he noticed everything like that. It's because he himself watched the game. So, what is he on about? He's contradicted himself there.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna discuss the Champions League quickly because we nearly got a few minutes to go. We got Sevilla in it at home. How do you think this game is gonna go?
Our home form isn't the greatest at the moment with the players we've got out. I hope Martin Odegaard comes back into the team. But
say that, but we haven't lost a game at home since last season. We only lost to City and Brighton.
Yeah, so
our home team is still great. It's better than away.
The only problem is when we're at home, we're too open. We concede more at home than we do away. We're less controlling of the game when we're at home. I don't know for what reason. I don't know if it's Arteta mentioned about the emotions when we're at home. If we play near enough how we played in the last 2 games, we're definitely going to get slapped up by Sevilla because we've seen how well that team is playing and they can create chances. But in our last 2 games, we didn't create any.
I'm looking forward to see
the last 2 games that we played, we didn't create any convincing chances. We haven't created any clear-cut chances this whole season. We haven't. Everything that we scored from all the chances we've created, they all have chances, So it's a worrying thing going into that game. But, we've shown it time and time again, like we have a bad run of form and we come back when we need to win and we go out and play outstandingly. But I'm sure Sevilla is going to come to the Emirates to try and get points because they, I think they got 2 points in the group at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're obviously gonna want to qualify, so they're gonna come to play.
We need to win, man. A win would take us. I think a win would take us through to the next
Yeah,
round.
so we definitely need to not lose that game.
Yeah.
We can't lose at home in the
If you
Champions
can't win, then draw. But no, we have to win.
League. Yeah, in
We have to win.
a tournament, you cannot lose at home.
Yeah.
You
But
cannot.
anyway, what would you give? Like, what's your prediction for Wednesday Champions League clash?
I think it's gonna be a draw. I think I'm not seeing anything to suggest that we're gonna create a lot of chances to beat them by clear goals and like convincingly. Because if Odegaard's not playing, we've got no creativity in the midfield. Because if Declan Rice is playing in a sixth position, he's not going to be able to create from there. He's going to progress the ball from there, but he's not going to be able to create. So with Kai Havertz and Fabio Vieira, they're not giving enough. They're not giving us enough to say, right, okay, we've created chances. They're coming on strong. So our defense is solid. I can see us stopping them from scoring, but at the same time, I can't see us creating enough to win the game.
So what would you predict? We move on then. What would you predict?
I'll predict a goalless draw.
Goalless. Wow. I'm gonna go for 2-0 Arsenal. I think we, like you said, I get what you're saying, that we're not creating as much, but I think at home we're different because
I'll tell you why I think that. If Martin Odegaard's not playing, Sevilla's gonna know the only two outlets that are gonna create anything is going to be Martinelli and Saka. So away to Sevilla, what they did, they locked them up by doubling up, tripling up on them until when Saka had a last sort of like chance to put a cross in. But because they know Martin Odegaard's not gonna play, they're gonna be willing to take the risk to put more numbers on Martinelli and Saka to nullify that sort of like area of attack. And with Nketiah not getting anyone who's creative enough in the midfield to create chances for him, he's not going to get any clear-cut chances. He's going to get scraps, if that. And then you have Jorginho, Havertz, and if it's Fabio Vieira, then we're pretty much lost for any attacking quality in the final third.
Yeah, I think I get what you're saying, but I think you're losing hope too early. I'm still gonna go for a home win because I think we're gonna bounce back and we need to win that game tomorrow.
I definitely hope we win. Definitely hope we win the game, but
I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for a 2-0 anyway.
You gotta be realistic. You saw the quality Seville possess in the midfield. You saw on the wings what sort of like attacking players they possess on the wings and up front, which I believe Saliba, Gabriel, Tomiyasu, and Ben White can absolutely deal with. And obviously Declan Rice tracking back and making recovery runs will absolutely.
If this game was away, then I would be more worried. But I think because we're playing at home, I don't think I'm not too worried. It's a big game. It's a big game. They're tough players. But look at Sevilla's team is old. They've got old players. Their players are old. They can't run.
Another thing that affects us at home is the atmosphere at home isn't what it was last season. I used to go every home game last season, and this season it's not the same because I feel like maybe the fans don't know what they're getting from the team from the get-go. Whereas last season, they knew as soon as the whistle blows, the team's coming out of the block with 110% trying to win the game in the first 10, 15 minutes. Whereas now, we're lackluster, we start slow, and then we make a couple of mistakes, give away possession very cheaply, and lose the ball where we're not supposed to lose it. So it gives people like a nervy sort of like feeling before we go into the game. Unless we're a goal ahead or 2 goals ahead, the crowd is a very nerve-wracking sort of atmosphere.
You mentioned all that. I do Sevilla also. Sevilla give away so many chances. And you mentioned all that here. Yes, you're right. Like we might not create enough. But Sevilla also, they might create, but they might not create. No, but they're gonna leave space as well. They're not gonna come at home at Emirates and sit back. I don't think they will sit back. Because if they sit back, it's a different game. But if they come out and play, and I think they will come out and play, and they're gonna leave space, and that will suit our wingers. Because if they come to the Emirates and they want to play and leave space, then it's gonna be a long day for them. But if they sit back, then yeah, I get what you're saying. If they sit back, and I don't think they'll come to the Emirates and sit back because they need to win. They got 2 points. They need to win. So that's why I'm going for 2-0 because I think they will leave space and I think we'll capitalize.
Yeah.
I think Arsenal will be back this Wednesday and we have to win at home anyway. Anyway,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go through the chats and then we'll wrap up. So you know your guy in it, Modu. You know, so it sounds like a no ball to me. But Modu, yeah. I got the next comment from Modu is Nkedia in the room. You know. Big up Malik, man. Big up. That's my brother. Lamin. Lamin say more good. Well, people are not serious, man. You know, what's up, bro? Hey, Bubakanye. I hope you're good, man. Thanks for watching, man. I'm back in the UK. Oh, nice one. Enjoying this show. Nice. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much. But guys, please make sure you subscribe, like, and comment, and tell us what you think. Tell us about what you think of, right? What you make of Arteta. Is it the right person to take Arsenal forward? You know, tell us the VAR decisions as well. You know what are VAR getting right and what they are getting wrong. So tell us in the comment below and tell us everything. And make sure you subscribe, like, and comment because we are here because of you guys. Say, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, big up to the viewers, man. You know, always supporting and everything, man. We appreciate all the comments, negative or positive. You know, shout out to my guy Modu, man. He's obviously, you know, lacking in football knowledge, so I try to educate him. Yeah, but you know,
Modu.
he'll
But
get
anyway, yeah,
I
but still, our podcast, don't forget, guys, our podcast is back every Thursday and every Sunday and every Monday. But yeah, is back on Sunday, sorry, Thursday. So we'll be talking about the upcoming weekend, which is Chelsea versus Man City at the bridge. So we'll do predictions for that one. So make sure you check out our upcoming podcast, guys. Yeah, thank you so much, guys.